Hi, welcome back. So we have a couple more Joe guys we're going to do today. Love to hear from you. I want to know what you think about the channel, something you'd like to see, something you like the way I didn't do. Just let me know. So today I have a couple of G.I. Joe classified figures. I have Destro and Major Bludd. So Destro and Major Bludd I got from a guy named Daniel Hammond. He owns Smoky Soul Barbecue in Chicago, so if any of you happen to be around Chicago, please check him out. He is a super nice guy. So when Major Bludd was out, first came out, not back at the beginning of the year when there were like 2 in the entire country, but you know, when there were about 300 or so, and people are charging like $100, $150 for it. Daniel actually hooked me up with Major Bludd for just over cost. It was I think it was like $35 shipped. So you know, I was more than okay with that. That was a super deal. And we were talking, you know, after we had finalized the deal and made arrangements. He's like, hey, what other figures do you have? I'm like, well, I don't have a whole lot right now. I just kind of got started. I had Zartan and Firefly. I might have had Cobra Commander and a Storm Shadow custom I made. Oh, and Snake Eyes. He's like, do you have Destro? No, I don't. You know, he's on my list at some point. I might get him. He's one of the major characters. He's like, well, I'll you know, let you have Destro too. I'm like, great. How much more do you want? He's like, no, I'll let you have a Destro. So for $35 shipped, I ended up with Destro and Major Bludd both still in the box, and I really appreciate it because he was super nice, super fun to talk to. We chatted for a couple hours afterwards, and I still keep in touch with him every now and then. But I couldn't have even done this good at retail, and I'm really appreciative when people were just gouging Major Bludd. He really did me a huge solid just in the reasonable price to begin with, let alone, you know, making it a better deal than I could have picked up anywhere. So really, Daniel, thank you. I appreciate it. So the first one we have is Major Bludd. And Major Bludd is built mostly on the Generation 1, version 1 design. Not that stupid Sonic attack where he lost the armored arm, or up until then, as I thought of it, a cyborg arm. And I still like to, I still prefer to think of it as a cyborg arm because it just makes him look cooler, and it would explain why the arm's a little bit skinnier. I understand that realistically, it would probably be an armored arm, although I think metal would seem to be an odd thing. But basically, the reason for the armored arm is, you know, they all have their little weapons, and Major Bludd's no different. He has a pistol there, and the pistol, he actually keeps his ammo in his backpack, and unlike the original one that held 3 that were non-removable, these are removable, which does make it a kind of a chore. They tend to fall out fairly easy. I'm not sure how they managed to stay in that time, but you know, they're little missiles. So his pistol, you just it's got a little pin at the back. It fits in the nozzle, or the barrel, and yeah, he's got a little rocket firing pistol. So yeah, I can see he would need some armor. Although that does make the question about the holster placement a bit odd. The armor's not real rigid. It's very pliable, so you can get, you know, the finger on the trigger pretty well. The hands really bend. It makes it easy to add and remove the weapons without worrying about the fingers snapping off. You see vintage Joes all the time, the 80s stuff, and the hands are broken off or the thumbs are broken off. Probably not going to happen here. I mean, you know, you get a good bend out of it. So he's got the weapons in the backpack. There's also a little peg on his backpack so that you can attach the pistol. It's got a little pin on the right side of it. You know, if you're holding it, if you're looking down the barrel, then it would be the left side. And then there really is no instructions on how to get the missiles in and get them to stay. So sometimes you have luck at it, sometimes you don't. But you have to make sure that the two fins are laying the same way the backpack is and not trying to dig into them. Otherwise, they're going to sit at an angle and never ever stay in. But the backpack fits in. I was never real sure with that backpack how it goes, and if I put it the way it looks like it goes, it's kind of high up. His helmet keeps popping off. It's not loose. Well, it is, but it's not, you know, unreasonably loose. So I generally aim his backpack down, though. See, the helmet's not horribly loose. It's just easily bumped. So along with the helmet that comes off, he's got this really great, you know, kind of high and tight buzz cut sort of sided thing with the really short hair on top. It's really nicely textured, although it makes the eye patch look a bit funny. There's no strap there holding it. It doesn't even look like there's a mold, but under here, it may possibly have one, although it seems like an odd way to go. I think that's actually a scar, and he's got some more scarring up here as well. It's a really kind of beaten mercenary kind of face, which really fits for Major Bludd. His dog tags are removable, which makes them look a bit odd. Every now and then they'll hang at weird angles. He's got the regular, you know, swivel ball joint thing, and then the armored arm has a little, the shoulder piece actually pivots out to give him a better range of movement without the armor impeding the arm. See, the missiles fell right out. Then he's got a hinge, a double-jointed hinge here for the shoulders, but it's a little flexible and a little hard to do. There is the shoulder kind of upper bicep swivel, a hinge and ball on the hand, and then he's got the ab crunch, waist turn, really nice sculpted belt with the leg strap that holds it to the leg. Otherwise, you could probably pop a leg off and just pull the entire thing off. Double jointed knees, that hip ball and hinge thing, so he's got a really good range of motion. We have the upper thigh swivels. We have the top of the boot swivel, that weird hingy ball pin thing for the ankles, so it has kind of that rocker effect. Really well detailed. You know, he's got the chest armor looks really good. Very similar to the vintage one, the card art, not the actual figure that was just kind of wearing a black vest. He's got the armor-plated tops of the boots that so many of them have, but he's also got steel caps on his boots, which really sets them off and looks really cool. I don't know if they're going to get around to doing like Buzzer or Torch anytime soon, and I hope they do, but I may end up picking up a second Major Bludd now that they've come down in price, so I can have a set of the boots and the rockets and stuff. There are quite a few things I'd like to do as a custom for this. But Major Bludd is such a great character, and he was a huge part of the Sunbow show in the early and mid '80s. Destro was too, so Destro's coming up next. Just got to get the missiles back in. Yep. See what I mean? They stay in, but they don't stay in. Drives me crazy. Alright, I'm just going to set them there and I'll put them back later. Okay, so the next one I have is, oh, right, I forgot. See, they stayed in that time. Major Bludd also has this really big-ass big revolver. You can tell it's a revolver. You can see the cylinder in it, but it's just this huge gun, and it fits really well in his hand as well. Bit less need for armor, but it may help the kick from it, because again, it is just a giant gun. It's actually one of the less Nerf looking guns in the line. Most of the rifles look like Nerf guns. Alright, so the next one we have is the regular version of Destro. Regular Destro looks like Destro. He's got the same basic articulation, and then he's got the shiny silver head. The medallion's actually a separate sculpted piece. It's on kind of a plasticky rubber, so it's pretty flexible. The collar's flexible as well. That comes up off the shirt. He's got the wrist rockets on the right arm, like the vintage figure had. The left arm seems to be missing that little control section. No big deal. I've never really had him, it was always kind of there. He comes with a couple of pistols. So the first pistol is a red and black one that I generally give to the Viper. I just think it fits his appearance better. But it actually looks like a gun that would come with either Tomax or Zamoth, the Crimson Twin Commanders. But the color scheme does fit Destro. It looks good with him. Fairly reminiscent of his original gun, which was one of the few early guns that was a pistol. He has this weird little gold, I don't know. It sort of looks like it shoots darts, but it's just this weird little sci-fi gun. And, I kind of like the sci-fi guns. They're neat. Pretty well sculpted. He doesn't have a lot of detail, but the original figure didn't have a lot of detail. That's my wife. And so aside from that, he came with a briefcase. The briefcase opens up, and inside is money and a computer with a keyboard. The Profit Director one came with a few extra things. I think he came with a flaming dollar bill, but that's for a different review. We'll get around to that one later. Anyhow, I would like to thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, you want to see anything, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts, hear your opinions. Daniel, thank you again. I really appreciate them. They are great figures. Y'all have a good day.